Hello everyone. As you can see, I have started on the drawing of this painting, which I was not going to record because it eats into so much of our painting time. But the universe sent me a very nice signal in the form of a huge streak of alizarin crimson that I accidentally picked up, so I have begun again. So I have started with the placement of this base of the oil can, and I've measured, and the distance between here and here and here and here is just about a perfect square. So not quite, but just about. I've set it here. I've moved it slightly over to the right because of the peanuts and because of the gesture of the spout, which will be here and also pointing in this direction. But the little plate that is behind, I am going to put right in the center. So when I started, I decided how big it was going to be, and I decided that by looking at the side here, seeing what hits it where, and where the bottom edge here hits this vessel. So once I have that, that gives me a pretty clear idea of how wide I want to make this. So I have made a little mark, as you can see there. Because I want that to be centered, I now measure that first mark and put it the same width on this side and the same width from the top. So we now know those are all centered. This, to find the center of that, I'm going to have to make some marks. So I did preliminary marks. I think this will be pretty close to it. I'm looking at where I imagine the center of it to be on which the vessel is blocking the view of in here. If I think of that all being in there, and it is somewhere right around there. So I am measuring in from here to there, moving my finger over, and it is there. So slightly off right there, but there's our mark. We now can use that first mark to make marks all the way around to give us an idea of where the edge of the circle is going to be. So I'll put my thumb there, I'll make a tiny mark. Do the same thing again. Put my thumb there, make a tiny mark. And we will continue to do that as many times as we feel like we need to do it to give us some idea of where the circle shape is going to be. If you can, try to draw the circle first and then check it by doing this. So it's very straightforward. I can promise you, no matter how careful you are, it will not always be correct. So, you have to keep measuring as you're doing it. And we want to check to make sure that it's hitting right at the edge of the table, which it is. So now we can swing out here, make a little mark, tiny mark, and then we will eventually just connect those dots when we get to painting that. And that's how we make the circle. Okay, I'm going to turn it off and I'll be back in a minute.